6 games into this retrospective, and we haven't seen too many great supers, but today that changes. Dragon Ball Z Budokai is the first game in the series to give us truly cinematic supers, and it doesn't waste the opportunity. These are some of my favorite versions of these iconic moves in the series, so let's check them out today on Rate the Supers. Okay, so now we're gonna go into Rate the Supers. So the tricky thing with Rate the Supers is that I did that world tournament grind and I got a bunch of money, but I didn't get enough money, I guess, to because it's random. What you buy is random. I did not get Super Kamehameha for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and I did not get Super Saiyan Vegeta, so I can't use Big Bang Attack. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna jump over to the story mode, and I'm gonna do these supers first to get them out of the way in missions where I know you have them. There we go. Big Bang Attack knocks him down. I mean, it's sweet. It is really sweet. I'm gonna look at it again. I mean, how Vegeta looks, like, that pose is so iconic. I perfected Cell with 2 of them. Does so much damage, damn. Yeah, Big Bang Attack's awesome. It's so sweet. It's one of my favorite moves. I'm gonna give that animation for it. I mean, this is our first look at 3D Dragon Ball, you know? Like, all the other games I played before this are 2D games. This is the first 3D, you know, like, keep that in mind for the time, considering that. I mean, that's awesome. That is an awesome, awesome super. I'm gonna give it a 9. 9 out of 10. There we go. Super Kamehameha. Knocks him down. So that is Super Kamehameha. To be honest, I'm not that big of a fan of it, especially for, like, canonically the most powerful character in this game's super. I'm not in love with that as the super of choice. Like, it's kind of neat, I guess, the concept of, like, oh, this super is so powerful that, like, it doesn't even have to hit them and it still does this much damage, or if it did hit them, it'd just kill them. But I just think it's kind of dumb for, like, your super attack to literally miss. Like, that is the goal of the move, is it misses. That's so weird. I'm gonna give it like a 6, because it still has, like, cool build up, and, you know, it's still, you know, a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan move, which is neat, but yeah, I'm just not, like, really in love with that. Here we go. It's pretty similar to, oh, that's awesome. Just seeing, like, we're fighting now in this just crazy, like, look around. Just blew up this whole area. I'll take another look at it. So I like that this one has, like, an emerging combo, and then he does that, like, quick shot to the back that stuns them. Death ball to the back. They're dead. That's pretty cool. I'll give that one, we'll say, like, an 8. I always liked that Frieza had this crazy level of control where his attacks that, like, blow up the planet are only, like, this little ball versus it being, like, super. It's kind of a defining trait for him, which I think is neat. So, okay, so we already looked at Big Bang Attack. Now it's time to see Final Flash. I wish it could be a little bit more beam focused, you know? In the same way that Gallic Gun, like, looks like a beam at distance. I guess it doesn't really. It looks more like a singular projectile. So maybe that was just a limitation of the engine in this game. Like, they didn't really design for anything bigger than that. But Final Flash is still cool. It's not quite as cool as Big Bang Attack, I'll say, but, you know, I'd still probably give it... We'll take one more look at it. The shot of his face is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go with like a 7 on that. Not the coolest Final Flash in the world. We're gonna get cooler. Because he's not in this game. He'll be in later games. But we're gonna get cooler Final Flashes too. Such a stupid joke. I really need to give up that joke before that goes too much further. Warp Kamehameha first. See, that's a great angle for this move because, like I mentioned on the Final Flash, the system seems to have a limitation where they don't really have beams in this. Like, we'll see what Kamehameha looks like. Yeah, it's a kind of a beam, but not really. So it's kind of like, this is a great way to disguise this. By framing it from behind the shoulders of both these characters, you never really see that there's not a beam coming out. It's just, and it looks really, really good. Man, Warp Kamehameha, and the way they like counterattack and the instant transmit, I mean, it's a great move in of itself, but like on top of that, like it looks so good when factoring in the design there. So I'm going to give that an 8. Yeah, I'm feeling an 8 on that. Let's see how good Spirit Bomb looks.
Let me have some of your energy.
Love that. So sick. Let me some of your energy. Spirit Bomb's like an 8. I mean, it's kind of a de facto move. Like, it doesn't really get... I mean, there's not really a way to do this move any cooler, I don't think. That's sweet. Yeah, this is really the first game that went off with the supers, and you're already seeing that pretty early on. These are great supers to start off. I mean, Special Beam Cannon's sweet. It's got such a cool design, and it actually is a beam. They figured out how to at least make this one a consistent beam. Directly through their chest, knocks them down. That's sweet. Special Beam Cannon's probably also like an 8. Let's see what Hellzone Grenade looks like. Whoa, okay, so it's a little silly that like blows up the entire environment. It is not a move that should be on. And I wish they had like the zoom out shot. One of the best moments from like that super in like later games and the anime itself is that like you see him throwing all these around and then it zooms out and you realize just how many are there. They didn't really show that in this one. So I think Hellzone Grenade's closer to like a 7. It's a little goofy with the bursting, like everything blowing up the whole planet, basically. I'm not as in love with this one. Not as in love with it, unfortunately. So we'll give that one a 7. Volleyball Fist. Is Volleyball Fist an ultimate? Let's see. If it is, I'll rank it.
Volleyball Fist. Service. Set. Fight.
Wow, that's so sweet that Volleyball Fist actually got in here. Is it the craziest move? No, it's not even like the craziest move done by Tien. But I just think it's one of those fun moves that I love when it makes it in. It's like a 7, but it's a fun 7. It's one I'm glad made it in. It's neat. It's I mean, it's kind of silly how many he throws at him, given how powerful that move actually is. But I'd say like 7 on that. Okay, didn't mean to do that. I'd say like 7. Give it a 7. Because it's like, Destructo Disc is so powerful that really it should only take 1. But I like that he, 3 small ones and a big one kind of, I mean, it's fun. It's cool that he got a move when like Kid Gohan didn't, Live Dream's definitely one of the lamer ones. I wish he would have at least done like the mount thing that he does in the anime, where he's like sitting on Goku and draining from his throat. Him just draining from the chest like this, or like from the shoulders, it's kind of goofy. It is kind of goofy. I'm gonna go like a 5 on that one. Like it's I kind of want to go low. I think I'll give it a 4. I'm going to go down to a 4. That really is like the worst one we've seen so far.
Blasters fire!
I always loved that one. Hell Flash is sweet. A little silly that it blows up the entire area again, but I think that's more to do with the animation than the actual move itself, because that move definitely should do that sort of thing. See it one more time. I also wish it was more of a slam here rather than him just throwing the enemy.
Blasters fire!
Nah, it's sweet. That's an 8. 8 out of 10 for 16. Yeah. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on the poses. All right. Racoom Bomber. Let's see it. I love that the environment like just changes around him while he's still in the same pose. That was pretty sweet. Let's give it another look real fast. Let me get full power. This is an expensive super, by the way. And how much damage did it do? Not that affects the poses make him do more damage. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I'll probably give it a 7. We'll go 7 out of 10 on that.
Fantastic buddy!
It's a very cool concept, that's for sure. It is a very cool conceptual super. Very cool conceptual super. Doesn't really have the flair for the dramatic like a lot of the other ones do, unfortunately. But I think that that's okay when it comes to like a super like this. It's hard to give it more than like a 7. So I think I won't. I think I'll give it a 7. But I do really like it. I mean, of course, like, he's made of, all the fighters' parts, so he can use their moves. It doesn't actually, like, make any canonical sense for Cell to be able to use the Spirit Bomb, because it's, like, a good energy thing, or for it to have any effect, unless, like, he can harvest bad energy. I also wish it was green. In some of the later games, they make a Spirit Bomb green when he gets it. And this one, they went red. And I also like, I think in like Budokai 3, he goes, all right, planet, give me that stupid energy. and I always find that so funny to me. This little thanks for the energy kind of has that same cockiness about it, but not quite as funny. I'm only going to give it like, I think I'm going to give it a 7. Just because I'm taking into account the whole like, you know, it doesn't really make any sense for him to even be able to use that move or for it to have any effect on Gohan, given that it's, you know, it's kind of one of those affects you because you're bad type moves, so. It's sweet. I mean, it's sweet for all the same reasons I love Big Bang Attack. Yeah, Burning Attack's one of my favorites for a reason. Going through this retrospective, all the older games did not do it any justice. This game does it justice. It's so sweet. If I'm being biased, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. If I want to be unbiased, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10, maybe a 9. But screw it. I'm here to be biased. I want to be biased. This is a 10 out of 10. This is the best Dragon Ball character, and this is the best super in the game. And I love it. I just realized we did not do Hercule's supers. I forgot about Hercule. All right, Hercule, you have 2 supers. We're going to start with the one that does not require a change to what form we're in. Present for you. His running is so funny. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's got to be like a 10 out of 10, right? I mean, it's a perfect super for the character. Perfectly represents him. What can you say? It's perfect. Let's go to the next one. Hercule Special. That one is also extremely goofy, but extremely, you know, it's so fitting for Hercule. So I think that one's like an 8, but the real cream is present for you. I mean, that's the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, if you will. So there we go. Rate the supers. Definitely a massive, massive step up, given that this is the first 3D Dragon Ball game. You know, it makes a big difference. Yeah, awesome. Loved all those supers. I think this is actually, like, just across the board, there's really not many bad supers. Everything's pretty cool. So